Welcome everyone. My name is Kunle Adepoju. As you know, I welcome you all to MEFA page again this week. Today is also a video tutorial class and it's going to center on who is a cinematographer. Who is a cinematographer? Yes, very many people believe that anyone who can as well operate camera is a cinematographer. Is everyone who can operate camera a cinematographer? Can we say as long as somebody can operate camera, he is a cinematographer? Let's check from this class. Yes, who is a cinematographer? A cinematographer is a film crew saddled with the responsibility of interpreting a story by camera, light, and every other element of visual moods. A cinematographer is a film crew who is saddled with the responsibility of interpreting a story by the use of camera, light, and every other visual element of moods. Every other visual element of moods. Now, who is not a cinematographer? Now, I need to start from there, telling you who is not a cinematographer. You are not a cinematographer if only you know is camera. Now, everybody can know camera. Anybody can know how to press record button on camera. Anybody can know how to put on or put off the camera. Anybody can know how to carry a camera and take a shot. In fact, you don't really need to be a cinematographer to know how to carry a camera and take any shot. You and your family can be going on a picnic and you pick up your camera and start recording anything. You can record anything and come up with a picture, come up with something that everybody can see, come up with a memory that everybody can be familiar with. But what makes you a cinematographer is beyond ordinary operating the camera. It's just beyond operating the camera. Also, you are not a cinematographer if you don't understand storytelling. You are not a cinematographer if you don't understand storytelling. You need to understand how to tell a story with your shots, with your lighting, with all images, all elements that you are going to put in front of your camera. Everything that is coming in front of your camera has a way of telling the story if you know how to apply them. Now, if you don't understand how to tell your story with all these elements that appear in front of your camera as well as the shot you are using to tell your story in line with the lighting moods that you create to tell your story, if you don't understand all this, then you are not a cinematographer. So it's very easy for any producer or any director to work with you as a camera operator if you don't understand storytelling, if they are technically inclined. But if they are not technically inclined, definitely they cannot work with such a cinematographer because you are not going to be there to help in telling their story with your shot. All you just know is just to take a take a wide and take a medium and get out of the shoot. But it is very important for you, if you want to be a cinematographer, to understand storytelling. That actually means you must read your script. You must understand what story are they telling. You must understand the mood of the story. You must understand the flow of the story. You must understand the actions, the kind of genre that the story is all about. And that is what makes you a cinematographer. You are also not a cinematographer if you don't understand the use of your mount. The simplest form of mount you can see in camera operation is a tripod. And if you don't understand how to use your tripod, then how are we going to call you a cinematographer? Why are we going to call you a cinematographer if you don't understand the use of your mount? Well, I am not saying that you should understand the use of every mount. In fact, you can only specialize in one or the other. But the simplest form of mount that every cinematographer should understand, every camera operator should understand is the mount called tripod. And it's so unbelievable that you still see some people who operate cameras, who call themselves a cinematographer, but they cannot understand their tripod. They don't understand all the functionality, all the functional buttons, functional areas that are involved in a tripod. They cannot even decipher which one is a professional tripod and which one is not a professional tripod. So if you want to be a cinematographer, you also need to understand your mount, understand the use of your mount, the application of your mount. This is also what will make you a cinematographer. You are a cinematographer when you understand shots and how to apply them in telling the particular story you are handling at the moment. Now, not every story are alike. So it is conventional to use close-up, to use wide shot, to use medium shot. But for you as a cinematographer to tell two stories differently, you need to understand the use of your shot. You need to understand how to use your shot, how to apply your shot to tell the particular story you are actually interpreting. So it takes a cinematographer to use his shot, to apply his shot, to interpret a particular story right in front of him. A particular story he or she is working on. 2, you need to understand light and how to apply your light in telling your story. To be a cinematographer, you realize that now it's not only that you handle camera that makes you a cinematographer. You need to understand the use of your shot, and you need to understand how to apply your shot in telling the story. And now you also need to understand the use, you need to understand light. That's one. Understand light. Then understand how to apply your light in telling the story. Now, you realize that where I am teaching from, in this my tutorial class, there is a way I position my lighting. That is an application of light in telling a story. Now, as a cinematographer, you need to understand how to apply your light, how to put your light together, how to put your lighting accessories together, how to use your light to tell the story that you are actually working on. So, knowing your camera is not only important in making you a cinematographer, but knowing how to use the shot you use your camera to take in telling the story, in interpreting the story that is placed before you. And not only that you use your camera or your shot alone to tell the story, you also need to understand light and how to apply your light in also telling your story. Now, for you to be a cinematographer, in fact, you can be a camera operator, just understand the use of your camera and go. But to be a cinematographer, it goes beyond understanding the camera alone. You must understand what you will use your camera to achieve. You must understand the shot that your camera is going to take. You must understand how to apply those shots in telling the story that is placed before you, and also understand the use of light. How you understand your light and understand how you apply those lights in telling the story that is right ahead of you. And finally, understand the images that are appearing in front of your camera. You know, in your camera, you are going to frame. And inside your frame, there are going to be several images. And those images, every image that appear in front of your camera are storytellers. Everything that comes in front of your camera form a composition. You know, when you make a sentence and your sentence is incorrect, then you have made a wrong composition. So if you are using your camera to frame and all the elements that are inside your frame are not correct in telling the story you are telling, definitely you are making a wrong framing. You are making a wrong composition. Then you need to understand images. Now, if you look at me very well, you will realize that there are some other images that are inside the frame with me, apart from me. And all these images are telling a story. You can see an image right in my right, you can see an image right in my left. All these images are telling a story. So, the use of all those images, the positioning of all those images, the interpretation that those images are going to give in telling a story is also part of what you need to know to make you a good cinematographer. Thank you for watching Mefa Pig today. God bless you.